I'm gonna be doing a full story time about why I quit my job. But I'm also gonna put makeup on. So I got the job. When I interviewed for the job, I just interviewed to be like a regular server basically, and they offered me a management position, which is cool and good, one might think. So I took the position, and it was my first time getting paid like salary, and it was like a breakfast restaurant, slash bagels slash catering. So that was like my main role, is like catering and events and stuff like that. So I come in, you know, whatever, learning the ropes as you do at a new job, and everything seems fine, blah blah blah. And like a couple days in, I don't know, I was just like, I don't vibe with this job for some reason. And I was telling like Alex that and everything. I was like, I just don't really vibe with it for some reason. And I was telling my mom that, and she was like, nobody really likes their jobs. And I was like, I guess that's true. So I just stuck it out. And then like after the newness passed, I started to see the true colors, you know. Once you see true colors, you cannot ignore them. So the manager there, she's the girl who hired me. So I got hired as assistant manager. So I was supposed to be her like direct assistant. But there was also another assistant manager, and she'd been there for a while. So it was kind of like us three were supposed to be like the managers there, and then there also was the owner. And the owner lived like on top of the building, so like the restaurant was like on the bottom floor, and she lived like right above it. So she just pop in whenever, which is kind of weird. But anyways, so it's supposed to be us three as the managers, and like I don't know, they just got like fake vibes, cliquey vibes, whatever. And I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he was like, no, there's definitely a clique there, and if you're not part of the clique, like they will hate you. And I was like, okay, I get that vibe. I definitely get that vibe. Like I just wasn't a part of the whole group, obviously, because I'm new. And then on the weekends, the main manager wasn't there, so it was just supposed to be me and the other assistant. And she's from Puerto Rico, and I was like, okay, girl, we gotta be besties, because if Puerto Rico, obviously love Bad Bunny and stuff. And she was just giving me like nothing back. She was just like, yeah, I like Bad Bunny, like very whatever. I was like, okay, bitch, what? And like just kind of gave me nothing, and I was like, okay, she's just not very friendly, you know, whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then, you know, I'm still kind of new, and she just like is talking to me kind of crazy. Like I would be doing something to like, if you're gonna stand there, make sure that this is filled and like stuff like that. And I was like, girl, I'm not standing here. I'm obviously in the middle of something. Like she was just talking to me like that, and I'm like, we're supposed to be like both the managers. Like you are not above me. And why are you talking to anyone like that, to be honest? And I'm like, especially somebody new. I was like, I am. And I just kind of like talk back to her, you know? And she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think she was expecting me to like respond like that. And then like the kitchen manager or whatever, I don't even know what his title was, but everyone would be on their phone, and then I would get on my phone, and he was like, unless you're texting the owner or Taylor, who's the manager, then you can't be on your phone. And I'm like, bruh, I am the assistant manager. I'm like, why are people bossing me around? I was like, I was brought on as a manager role. Like, why are you telling me what to do? Like, you can tell like other people what to do. And like also like a kitchen manager job is very different from like front of house job. So I'm like, bro, you don't even know what I'm doing. Like, why are you talking to me like that? And just very quickly, I realized that they all just talk to each other crazy like that, and no one just says anything, and they're just like okay with it. And I hung out with a couple of my coworkers. Like, there is like some like there's 3 like really cool people who work there, and like I am still friends with them. I'm actually getting ready to hang out with them right now, and actually I don't know, 1 or 2 of them, definitely one of them put in her 2 weeks also, like because it's so fucking up there. So I mean, I met them there, but obviously we are leaving anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And so I hung out with them, and honestly, I started crying because I was like, I fucking hate this job. Like, I'm just not used to, like, the way people talking to each other so harshly. Like, the owner would come down, and she'd be like, with how much I fucking pay you guys, it should not be this dirty in here. And, like, throw, like, how much everyone got paid, like, in their faces. And she's like, I can't believe you make this much, and you're letting this look like this. Like, to the cooks and stuff. I'm like, bruh. And it's a small business, like it's just one location, and I'm like, if I owned a restaurant and I had workers and they were the ones making my money, I just can't imagine speaking to them like that, like at all. And I don't know, I would just like, the salary you pay people, like why would you throw that in their faces? I don't know, I just didn't understand it. And they were like, my coworkers, like the cool ones, they were like, that's just New York, like you're gonna have to get used to it. And I was like, fuck. Okay, I was like, maybe you're right, like it is harsher out here. People are like a little more blunt, a little more, I don't want to say rude, but I'm like, they are, but not in that way. Like New Yorkers, they are, I will say that they are more upfront, but not in a rude way. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but like they would not like tell someone like this looks fucked up, or you know, like something that they cooked, like it's just different. I'm like, yeah, so I don't really think that's it. And just slowly I noticed like it just like the click became very, very clicky all of a sudden. And I was obviously not a part of that because I'm new. So like it was like the head manager, the other assistant manager, and like 2 other people, and they would just like talk to each other, and I could see them like texting each other, and like I was just like getting very weird vibes. And they would literally, I would come into work and they would not even acknowledge the fact that I walked in. They would just like only talk to each other. And these are other managers, like, and I am a manager as well. We're supposed to all be working together. They would literally like not say, because this is a breakfast, so I had to come in early at 6:30 every day, which is another reason I quit, but we'll get to that. So we had to come in early, and usually like everyone just says good morning to each other, like all the cooks, everyone, like, but this like clique group of people, they would literally like not even look in my direction, like not even say hello, nothing. And then I was just like, okay, this is weird. And they would just kind of expect me to like do my job, and they would just not talk to me the entire day. I don't know what I did. I don't know like if they didn't like me. And I recently found out like a couple days before I quit that I was the youngest person there. So a couple of like my cool coworkers were telling me like, and they're older, like 30s. So I'm 23, and some of my coworkers like maybe they're just not like vibing with the fact that you're making as much, if not more, than them. Because I was making more than the other assistant manager, and you're younger than them. And I'm like, bro, that's not my fucking fault. Whatever. And they would just be so rude to me, and like if I asked for help, because I'm still new, I only worked there a month, so I would consider myself new for that entire time. Anytime I'd ask for help, they would be like, ugh, and like push their like stuff out of their chairs like that. Always roll their eyes, like very just weird like that. And it was just really weird energy. And of course she was white, and I don't know, it was just very weird energy. And like, I don't know. And the Puerto Rican girl was like her little fucking sidekick, and she just took her job way too seriously. Like she was the type of person, like one little spot and be like, who closed last night? Like she's just very much that person. But either way, it doesn't ignore the fact, whatever, working hard, whatever, you have a business to run, I get it. That does not ignore the fact that you don't say good morning or hello to someone when they enter a room. Like I'm very much like that. I'm just that kind of person, and I guess they just aren't, which is not okay with me. And then I hung out with like my cool coworkers like a couple of other times, and they were like, bro, like there's a weird vibe in there. And I was like, right? And they're like, they are not fucking with you. And I was like, I know. And they're like, they're just jealous of you, like, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that doesn't make it okay. And it just became, like, very toxic. Like, even within a month, it just became very toxic. To where I could see them, like, texting each other. Like, they're very obviously talking about me. Like, I overheard the manager tell someone, like, I don't know how much longer I can hold her hand, like, regarding me, because I guess I was, like, asking a lot of questions or I needed help. But I'm like, bro, I'm new, I'm just trying to do the job right. And, like, I don't know, I just feel like that was very mean girl energy. And I don't know if this, like, story, like, oh, it's not that bad, but, like, working there, like, I just, like, felt myself, like, I would be depressed if I kept working there. Like, I don't beg for anyone to like me, but I was in a position where I couldn't just not communicate with those people. So they would kind of ignore me on purpose to the point where I would have to talk to them. Like, they would not talk to me first in the day. So it was kind of like me talking to them. If that makes sense, which is just, they just did it on purpose and everyone knew it. Because, like, even my other coworkers, like, I don't know why they do that to you. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, it's weird. And, like, other people started to notice. Like, other, like, cool people started to notice, like, they were just rude. Like, if I was just a server or, you know, whatever, it would be easy to ignore that because I'm just like, whatever. But my job was literally to work closely with these two other girls who would literally pretend I'm not there. And if I, like, asked something, they wouldn't even look me in the eye. Like, they would just look straight. Like, I was just like, I just can't do this. Like, I could just feel myself, like, getting very... kind of, I don't want to say depressed because it's definitely not the right word, but I think eventually I would have got depressed because I'm like, bro, like, you clearly don't like me. Like, do you have a problem with me? And, like, I asked that. I was like, did I do something to you? Like, something? And of course, like, she was like, oh my gosh, no, like, blah, blah, blah. But then they go and act like that. So I'm just like, something's just not adding up. Like, I don't know what I did. And it just kind of got worse and worse each day. And, like, the more I, like, talked and, like, hung out with my cool coworkers, like, the more that pissed them off because they were like, I don't know, like, oh, she has friends here or something. And they just, like, kind of didn't like the fact that, like, I hung out with them or, like, that people actually liked me or something like that. And it just got worse and worse. And I was like, they're not going to change their minds how they feel about me. Like, they're just, like, this is how they're going to always act towards me. Because I'm not going to go and kiss their asses and make them like me. So this is how it's going to be if I continue to work here. Like, you know, I'm not going to beg for their... Not to mention these people are older than me. They are, like, in their 30s. The other assistant manager was 30. I don't know. The other girl was, like, 30, 31 maybe. I'm like, bruh, you guys are 7, 8 years older than me. That's not even kind of close to my age. That's way older than me. And you're acting like that? I don't know. So, yeah, I went out with my coworkers again, like, 2 days before I quit. And, like, I was just so depressed at the thought of ever, like, going back there and, like, having to deal with that. And like, everyone else would agree. They're like, they're just, like, fucking bitches to you for no reason. And they're like, they're just, like, very jealous or whatever. I don't know. But they were like, I can tell, like, the vibe is weird. Like, and I feel like that affects... I'm not trying to be corny or whatever right now, but I do feel like that affects business because, like, you can tell when, like, coworkers, like, don't get along. It just creates weird energy. So it just created weird energy. And the fact that other people can notice it means that eventually customers would notice it. So it was a pretty small place. And the day before I quit, I had off, and I honestly started feeling really sick. Like, I had a sore throat. And I didn't tell them that I wasn't feeling good, and I just went in and wore a mask. And that day, like, they were just, like, kind of, like, doing the thing, like, they, like, literally, like, acting like bullies, like, push and, like, bump into me, like, walking past and stuff like that. And, like, but still not acknowledging that I was there, like, not even saying hello, nothing. And I was just like, hey, I was already not feeling good, so I'm just gonna go home. And they were just like, okay, well, you're gonna have to get a COVID test. And then I was like, okay, whatever. And then I ended up just emailing them this strongly worded email, and I will read it. we'll read the email. Hold on, my bad. I don't remember where it's at. Maybe I deleted it. I think I deleted it. I might have deleted it, but I definitely screenshotted it because I sent it to people. My bad. Little break. Okay, so bruh. I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Either way, I'll just try and remember what I said. So I said, just like, hey, effective immediately, I am putting in my resignation and I won't be coming back. And I said, my values do not align with the company's. I've never been treated so poorly at a job before, and the lack of professionalism won't suffice for me and this job or any job moving forward. Like, I won't put up with that here or there, anywhere else that I go. And I was just like, there's just a lack of professionalism, and clearly you guys have values that are different than mine, and like whatever, something like that. And as a manager, if someone sent that email to me, I would be freaking out. I would be like, I cannot believe that I made someone feel this way. And they were just like, the response was, okay, thank you, we'll have your next check. Like, that's all they said. And I'm just like, I just can't imagine like making someone feel so shitty, like basically bullying. They did bully me. I don't care. They did. They were bumping into me, they were ignoring me, talking about me, texting each other about me. Like, I saw it. Like, you know, I just could not imagine making another person feel that way and not acknowledging it. And I was just like, it kind of did put like a bad taste in my mouth, and like maybe New York is just like too intense for me or something like that. But, you know, the more I talk to like Alex and other people, they're like, not every place is gonna be like that. Like, they clearly have their own thing going on. Like, not every place is like that. Like, it just sucks that that was my first job, you know? Because now that's just kind of how I feel going forward. Like, applying to places, like I had an interview today and stuff, and now I'm like, bro, what if they're mean to me there? What if, you know, I just feel like, I don't want to say traumatized, but a little bit. Because now I'm like scared to work at any other job. Because I'm like, what if it is like that? But I know it's not, because Alex has 2 jobs and it's not like that where he works. And, you know, so I know that that's true. Like, it was just that. And it just sucks that that was my first experience working out here, because I won't lie, I am scared that like other places are going to be like that, where I won't be respected a lot because I am young. I don't know. I just don't know. So yeah, and then yeah, so I didn't even respond to like acknowledge that basically I felt bullied. I sent that to the owner also, and she didn't respond at all. So I just feel like that also was a red flag, because also as a business owner, like, how can you be okay with that happening? Like, I would be so upset at my staff for making someone feel that way. Like, I basically feel like I got bullied out. Like, I was talking to like the cool people who still work there and stuff, and they were like, I'm not gonna lie, this is what they wanted you to do. Which is like, whatever, if they want to feel like they won, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care, because I have to put my own happiness first, and they're clearly bitter and have their own shit going on, whatever. And also I was also sick, and you know, all that was going on, so it was just really bad. I'm still kind of dealing with that, so I don't have a job right now. I'm still looking. I do have interviews and stuff, but like I said, I'm just like very cautious and alert now, and I don't know, it just put a really bad taste in my mouth, and like I just felt kind of like a failure, you know. I know I'm not, but like that I gave up too easy, because a lot of my coworkers were telling me like it's gonna get better with time, like they're not gonna have a choice but to talk to you and like and stuff like that. But I don't want to build those kind of relationships, and I don't want them to have to be fake to me. Like, you know, I don't know, and whatever. And also, they definitely gave me the evil eye, because I did the whole evil eye practice, and I did a reading, and it definitely came out positive. So, you know, I got my little witchy thing on and reversed it back to them. So that's that. And yeah, and that's why I was sick. And yeah, that's the story that I'm sticking to, that they gave me the evil eye. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, because I probably left stuff out that I wanted to say. But yeah, I'm hanging out with like the girl who put in her 2 weeks. I'm gonna hang out with her right now because her 2 weeks aren't up, so she's been there. So maybe there's tea, maybe there's not. I don't really want to put any more energy into it. But yeah,